Hi everybody, David here with Cartoon Fortress. Thanks for joining me on the channel today. We've got a fun one for you today. We are going to focus here on the Kino Lorber June Swoon sale. Now, at time of filming this video, the sale ended a couple of days ago on July 14th. It was running for quite some time. I think it was more longer than a month if I remember right. But this is not going to be an unboxing video. This is just going to be an overview of the titles I picked up, and I'll give you a little bit of information on each one. So the first title up here, we have Harvard beats Yale 29-29. And this is a recommendation from Brian Sauer over at Just the Discs. So this is a sports documentary, which is right up my alley. I love documentaries in general, but sports documentaries I really like a lot. The 30 for 30 films, that type of thing, is what comes first to mind. Hoop Dreams from the Criterion Collection is amazing. But what we have here is an incredible true story that unfolds like a ripping good yarn with an uproarious, impossible Hollywood ending. Harvard Beats Yale is filmmaker Kevin Rafferty's acclaimed documentary depicting one of the most legendary games in the history of sports. We get a couple of extra features here as well, including bonus interviews. In additional interview excerpts not included in the film, the players provide a deeper look at the season, the game, and its aftermath. We also get a theatrical trailer. Now, this particular documentary is from 2008 with a runtime of 104 minutes. Sorry if you hear my doorbell in the background. Where was I here? Yeah, 2008 with a runtime of 104 minutes, and a great addition here from Kino Lorber. All right, moving right along. We have a film. I had no intentions on picking this up, but I was just scanning the pages of the sale and came across this, and it looked really interesting. This is more of a kind of, seems like a visual contemplation on kind of society and the world in general. And this is from Jean-Luc Godard, actually, which I was kind of surprised. I had never heard of this film. But this is Jean-Luc Godard's The Image book. The legendary Jean-Luc Godard adds to his influential iconoclastic legacy with this provocative collage film essay, a vast ontological inquiry into the history of the moving image and a commentary on the contemporary world. And I know this won a few different awards. I'm really interested in checking this title out. I love these kind of visual, I guess in a way you could actually call it a documentary, but this seems also right up my alley. So this is just a quick runtime of 87 minutes. It's in black and white and color, and we do get some bonus features, including we actually get a booklet essay in here, and then a conversation with researcher critic Nicole Bregnez at the 2019 International Film Festival Rotterdam, and that's 94 minutes. That's pretty significant there. Trailers, and then we get an interview with producer and DP Fabrice Aragno. Sorry if I'm butchering that name, which I'm sure I am. But yeah. So 87 minutes, so quick runtime on this one, but very interesting looking, and cool to know that it's got a booklet included in there as well. All right, now moving away from kind of documentary films, we are in the rest of the way here. We're in with the Kino Lorber Studio Classics titles. First up, we have Elliot Gould, Christopher Plummer, and Susanna York. Great cast here, directed by Daryl Duke. This is The Silent Partner. Now, I've kind of been on an Elliot Gould kick as of late, just trying to bring his titles into the collection. And he did a lot of great work. The 70s seemed to be a really great era for him. And this is from 1978 in color, runtime of 106 minutes. And we do get a couple special features here, including Think of a Number, interview with star Elliot Gould, and we get an audio commentary by film historians Howard S. Berger, Steve Mitchell, and Nathaniel Thompson, as well as a radio spot and a theatrical trailer. So looking forward to diving in on the interview and audio commentary especially. But yeah, just a kind of a suspense thriller from 1978 with The Silent Partner. Next up, we have another recommendation actually from Brian Sauer over at Just the Discs. He's costing me a lot of money. This is Anthony Edwards and Mare Winningham in Miracle Mile. I've heard Brian actually talk about this title a couple of times, and so seeing as how it was a part of the sale, I figured it was time to get it. Newly remastered in HD, what would you do if you knew you only had an hour to live? This intense, eerily euphoric romantic thriller stars Anthony Edwards and Mare Winningham in a frighteningly plausible story that yanks you by the lapels and draws you into a high-velocity roller coaster. We get a decent amount of extra features here, actually. A couple of audio commentaries. The first by director Steve DeJarnett, moderated by Walter Chaw. And the second by director, again, Steve DeJarnett, DP Theo Van de Sand, and production designer Chris Horner. Also, we get excavations from the editing room, tar pits, deleted scenes, outtakes and bloopers, supporting cast and crew reunion, Harry and Julie interview with stars Anthony Edwards and Mare Winningham, alternate diamond ending, and trailers for Miracle Mile and Cherry 2000. Cherry 2000 I'm not familiar with. I'm wondering if that's maybe another film by the same director. But this is from 1989 with a runtime of 87 minutes, and really looking forward to checking this one out. Miracle Mile. All right, next up we have this really caught my attention because I love made-for-TV movies, especially from the 70s, and this is exactly that. This is Clint Walker in Dozer from 1974. We have a runtime here of 74 minutes, so a very brisk watch here. Definitely nothing too time-consuming. And we get an audio commentary by film historian Lee Gambin and film critic Jarrett Gran. Also an audio interview with director Jerry London, an image gallery, and trailers. And this features a brand new 2K master and is about a small construction crew who battles the ultimate assassin in the cult classic Dozer. Stationed on a small island off the coast of Africa, 6 men find themselves terrorized when a ruthless life form takes over a bulldozer and then sets off on a killing rampage. So this reminds me actually of a film that I saw recently from that's available via Scream Factory. That's where I picked it up, called The Car from the 1970s. Very, very entertaining film, and this seems like it's right up kind of that alley. Possessed vehicles or machinery from the 1970s. Just a lot of great made-for-TV movies in that era. So Dozer from 1974. I don't know if I said... Yes, I did say the extra features. All right, next up, I was really surprised to find this as a part of the Kino Lorber Studio Classics catalog. In fact, I was pretty blown away that this was available. But I picked it up immediately when I knew that it was part of their library and especially part of the sale. This is Jetsons The Movie. So this is a great nostalgic movie for me. And I actually had the DVD in my collection, which I actually just gifted over to my son for his collection. So, anyways, yeah, 1990. This is in color, obviously. Runtime of 82 minutes. And I don't know why I was kind of surprised that we even got extra features here. We get an audio commentary by author, film historian Lee Gambin, audio interview with voice actor Jeff Bergman, who does the voices for George Jetson, Mr. Spacely, and a board member, and then a theatrical trailer. Really excited actually to have this in the collection on Blu-ray. As I stated, my previous copy was just the cheapo DVD, so I'm not expecting anything spectacular in terms of transfer or anything like that, but just great to have this on Blu-ray in the collection. So Jetsons The Movie. And I do want to point out as well that if you're interested in the Jetsons, Warner Archive did an outstanding job on the original TV series, bringing that complete series to Blu-ray. So check that out via Warner Archive if you're interested. Next up, we have a title that I hear is almost too cheesy to believe. This is Vanilla Ice in Cool as Ice. I've heard few different people talk about this one. Definitely not expecting anything great, but a great kind of artifact or remnant of the early 90s. This is from 1991, a runtime of 91 minutes, and includes an audio commentary by film historians Alexander Heller Nicholas and Josh Nelson, as well as a theatrical trailer featuring chart-topping music. Cool as Ice stars recording artist Vanilla Ice in his exciting motion picture debut. Johnny Vanilla Ice is a freewheeling motorcycle riding musician who rolls into a small town with his band. There he meets Kathy, played by Kristen Minter, TV's ER, a high school honor student who catches his eye and his heart. Can a good girl like Kathy fall for such a bad guy? It's a modern romance with a beat in this fast-paced film with stunning visual style and a hit soundtrack directed by David Kellogg, who looks like directed Inspector Gadget. So, we get what we get here. Early 90s ultimate cheese here with Cool as Ice. All right, next up, I know they originally released this particular title in a slipcover edition. Here, I do not have the slipcover. This stars Warren Oates and Isela Vega, and this is Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. Now, I believe that there were maybe one or two other labels that have brought this out, but especially during the sale, I wanted to pick it up through Kino, and it does actually feature a 2017 HD master from a 4K scan of the original camera negative. So this should look really good. This is from 1974 with a runtime of 112 minutes from Sam Peckinpah, and that's the other reason that I was drawn to this title is the name of Sam Peckinpah. The legendary director of Ride the High Country, The Wild Bunch, Straw Dogs, The Getaway, and Convoy comes this audacious crime drama starring the great Warren Oates. When a Mexican land baron puts $1 million on the head of the man who seduced and impregnated his daughter, the two money-hungry hired killers recruit a small-town bartender, played by Warren Oates, to help them do their dirty work. So really interesting sounding premise here from Sam Peckinpah. And yeah, not much else to say about this one, but Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. Very happy to introduce this into the collection. We do get an audio commentary by co-writer, associate producer Gordon Dawson, moderated by Nick Redman. Audio commentary by film historians Paul Sador, Garner Simmons, David Weddle, and Nick Redman. Also, we get trailers from hell with Josh Olson, TV spot, image gallery, and a theatrical trailer. So a really decent addition here on Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. All right, moving right along. This title caught my interest recently in And the cast here is excellent. We have Spencer Tracy, Burt Lancaster, Richard Widmark, Marlene Dietrich, Judy Garland, Maximilian Schell, and Montgomery Clift. This is Judgment at Nuremberg. This is from 1961 with a longer runtime here, 186 minutes. And this is the event the world will never forget, winner of 2 Academy Awards, including actor in a leading role, and nominated for 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Judgment at Nuremberg is a magnificent achievement in filmmaking, boasting brilliant performances by an all-star cast. American judge Dan Haywood, played by Spencer Tracy, presides over the trial of 4 German jurists accused of legalizing Nazi atrocities. But as graphic accounts of sterilization and murder unfold in the courtroom, mounting political pressure for leniency forces Haywood to make the most harrowing and difficult decision of his career. This masterpiece, considered by many as one of the greatest films of all time, was directed by the great Stanley Kramer, with a stupendous cast that includes Burt Lancaster, Richard Widmark, Marlene Dietrich, Judy Garland, Montgomery Clift, and William Shatner as well. Special features here, we get In Conversation featurette with Abby Mann and Maximilian Schell, a tribute to Stanley Kramer featurette, The Value of a Single Human Being featurette, and the original theatrical trailer. So another great release here from Kino Lorber, and I actually can't believe this is a film that I haven't seen. So I'm looking forward to fixing that by watching this great edition here. All right, next up, I know there's 2 films in this series, and then a TV series that Kino's supposed to be releasing the complete series of here in October, and that's Kolchak. This is Darren McGavin in The Night Stalker. So this is The Night Stalker, and then I believe the name of the other film is The Night Strangler, if I remember right. This is from 1972 with a runtime of 74 minutes, so another really short runtime. And this is a brand new HD restoration in 4K. An investigative journalist takes a stab at the supernatural. This unforgettable first entry in the Night Stalker series introduced the world to the quirky reporter with a penchant for the paranormal and became one of the top-rated TV movies of all time. Investigating a series of Las Vegas murders, Carl Kolchak, played by Darren McGavin, discovers that each victim has been bitten in the neck and drained of blood. Though Kolchak's outlandish theory about the murders gets him nowhere with the police, his initiative to apprehend the killer himself gets him into hot water with a modern-day vampire. So really interesting premise here. And we do get a few special features included, of which we have a new audio commentary by film historian Tim Lucas, new interview with director John Llewellyn-Moxie, new interview with composer Bob Cobert, the Night Stalker Dan Curtis interview, featurette, and newly commissioned art by Sean Phillips. Actually, I love the artwork on this cover as well as on the Night Strangler. And this is actually written by Richard Matheson, one of my favorite writers of all time. And I actually didn't know coming into this that this is also a made-for-TV movie. So a couple of 1970s made-for-TV gems here. But yeah, very excited to bring this into the collection. Of course, I'll look forward to bringing in The Night Strangler and then the Kolchak complete series, which is, again, supposed to come out later this year in October is the date that they're apparently aiming for. So The Night Stalker. All right, next up, this was not part of the sale. I do want to make that very clear, but this is a title that I've been wanting to get for quite some time via Kino. So this one was $17.99. whereas most of what we're looking at here was $9.99 to maybe $11.99. But this is Walter Matthau, Robert Shaw, Martin Balsam, and Hector Elizondo in The Taking of Pelham 123. Really a long time coming for me to pick this up, and just wanted to obviously pull the trigger here during the sale, even though, again, it was not a sale title. This is from 1974 with a runtime of 104 minutes. Screen legends Walter Matthau, The Laughing Policeman, and Robert Shaw, Figures in a Landscape, and Jaws, obviously. Team up with Martin Balsam and Hector Elizondo to deliver a surefire entertainment that's gripping and exciting from beginning to end and is guaranteed to give you the ride of your life. A gang of armed professionals hijack a New York subway train somewhere outside the Pelham station, threatening to kill one hostage per minute unless their demands are met. Forced to stall these unknown assailants until a ransom is delivered or a rescue is made, Transit Chief Lieutenant Garber, played by Matthau, must shrewdly outmaneuver one of the craftiest and cruelest villains in a battle of wits that will either end heroically or tragically. So really excited about this. So this is directed by Joseph Sargent, and we get an interview with star Hector Elizondo, interview with composer David Shire, interview with editor Jerry Greenberg, audio commentary by actor-filmmaker Pat Healy, and filmmaker programmer/historian Jim Healy. Trailers from Hell with Josh Olson, animated montage of stills and posters, and an original theatrical trailer. Really, really excited to watch this one soon. The Taking of Pelham 123. Obviously, we have the original here. There was a remake, I want to say in the early 2000s, with Denzel Washington. But really, really happy to have the original here. All right, next up, we get Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal in a kind of a buddy cop type film here. We have Running Scared. This is from 1986 with a runtime of 107 minutes. Peter Hyams directs Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal in the motion picture that asks the question, how come the bad guys always drive the good cars? The answer has them running scared in this lightning-paced comic thriller. Ray and Danny are the wild men of the Windy City's police force. The pair's unorthodox methods get results in a tough town until they come up against Julio Gonzalez, a smooth-talking drug dealer who is bucking to become Chicago's first Spanish godfather. Trying to nail Gonzalez, they blow a delicate undercover operation and are sent on a forced vacation to Key West, where they discover the good life of warm weather and warmer women. The new locale makes them decide to retire, but not before pulling Gonzalez behind bars first. The stellar cast includes Stephen Bauer, Darlene Flugel, Joe Pantoliano, from The Fugitive, of course, John Grease, and Dan Hedaya. So great cast here. We get an audio commentary by director Peter Hyams, a featurette, Billy Crystal outtakes, which should be a lot of fun, selected electronic press kit scenes, and original theatrical trailer. So Running Scared from 1986. All right, next up we have a Spike Lee joint that I have not seen. I picked up Do the Right Thing via the Criterion sale. Was that last year or the year before when it was released? And absolutely love that film. And I've been wanting to bring more Spike Lee films into the collection. I've heard amazing things about Crooklyn here on Blu-ray via Kino Lorber. This is from 1994 with a runtime of 115 minutes. And there is absolutely no extra features to speak of on this title, so just an FYI on that. From Spike Lee, the legendary director of Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X, Clockers, and Black Klansman, comes this vibrant, semi-autobiographical portrait of a school teacher, her stubborn jazz musician husband, and their 5 kids living in Brooklyn in 1973. So it references Black Klansman, so this obviously has to be a newer release to Blu-ray. I'm not sure when this came out exactly, but really looking forward to this one from Spike Lee. This is Crooklyn from 1994. All right, next up, I have the original version of this film. This is another iteration of His Girl Friday. Here we have Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, and a Billy Wilder film. What a great trio. And this is The Front Page. This is from 1974 with a runtime of 105 minutes. From Billy Wilder, the legendary director of The Lost Weekend, Sunset Boulevard, Stalag 17, Witness for the Prosecution, and 1, 2, 3, comes this classic comedy based on the play by Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur, His Girl Friday, with a screenplay by Wilder and the great I.A.L. Diamond. Ruthless newspaper editor Walter Burns and his crack ace reporter Hildy, played by Jack Lemmon, believe together they can cover any story. The only problem is their team is being broken up as Hildy has decided to get married and leave the newspaper business altogether. So if you've seen His Girl Friday, you know the story or the premise here. But I'm interested to see Billy Wilder's take on it with the amazing duo of Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, one of my favorite duos in film history. I'm looking specifically at the Odd Couple, one of my favorite films of all time. This has an audio commentary by film historian Michael Schlesinger and Mark Evanier. In fact, I just saw a Zoom conversation recently with Mark Evanier and Leonard Maltin that was really interesting. I believe it was between them two. Interview with First Assistant Director Howard G. Kazanjian and Assistant to Billy Wilder Rex McGee. Interview with actor Austin Pendleton and a theatrical trailer. And I don't know if I said 1974 with a runtime of 105 minutes. Really looking forward to this one. I understand that His Girl Friday is going to be nearly impossible to beat, but I'm interested to see what this iteration here has to offer. All right, we have 2 titles left. Next up here, we have Richard Pryor, Harvey Keitel, and Yaphet Kotto in a film that is written by Paul Schrader and Leonard Schrader, also directed by Paul Schrader. This is Blue Collar. I've heard amazing things about this film, and I'm excited to bring this into the collection. This is from 1978 with a runtime of 114 minutes. Whatever became of the American Dream, from Paul Schrader, the legendary director of hardcore, American Gigolo, Cat People, and Light Sleeper, when Detroit auto workers Zeke, played by Richard Pryor, Jerry, played by Harvey Keitel, and Smokey, played by Yaphet Kotto, finds bills piling up and pressure bearing down, they decide to rob their corrupt union office. In a cruel twist, their small haul becomes a nightmare when the heist goes horribly wrong, and their once loyal friendship turns to fear, betrayal, and murder. So again, another really interesting premise here, and one that I've heard talked about quite a few times. This also features an audio commentary with co-writer-director Paul Schrader and journalist Maitland McDonough, and a theatrical trailer. I love how many audio commentaries we're getting on these releases, and really excited to check this one out. Blue Collar from 1978. Lots of 70s films in the hall, which is fine by me. And last but not least, we have a Clint Eastwood film here. This is part of the series of Clint Eastwood films that Kino's done with slipcover editions, which is great. And this is the Iger Sanction. This is from 1975. Why not have another 70s film? Runtime of 129 minutes. This features a brand new 2K master from Clint Eastwood, the legendary director of Play Misty for Me, High Plains Drifter, Firefox, Gran Torino, and Sully. Comes this international espionage thriller set in the Swiss Alps. Jonathan Hemlock is a retired professional assassin who has adapted a calmer lifestyle with a pursuit of art collecting. When a close friend is murdered, Hemlock is suddenly forced out of retirement to hunt the deadly double agent that killed his comrade. Clint Eastwood's filmography I've been diving into a lot more lately, and Kino's been providing really wonderful opportunities to do that. I did recently, in the last maybe 2-3 months, watched Play Misty for Me, and that was a fantastic film. I recently brought in The Beguiled, and now the Iger Sanction. Also looking over at my shelf here, High Plains Drifter and Joe Kidd. So again, Kino's doing a lot of great work with Eastwood's filmography. So really looking forward to this one. We have an audio commentary by film critic Nick Pinkerton, interview with actor Rainer Schoen, archival interview with actress Heidi Brohl, vintage 8-minute promotional reel, poster and image gallery, 4 TV spots, 5 radio spots, and a theatrical trailer. So really well-rounded release here from Kino Lorber on the Iger Sanction from 1975. All right, so that does it. Well, let's see here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 titles here in all. I believe the only one that was not a part of the sale was The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. But a great pile of films here, and I'm excited to dive into all of these. Let me know in the comments down below if you were able to take part in the Kino Lorber June Swoon sale. For those that weren't able to take part in the sale, don't worry. Kino is known for their sales, and it seems like they have more sales than anybody, and they always have the I can't remember what they call it, the going out of print, or no, it's the while supplies last sale. So there's titles that they're losing license on, or just letting that license lapse, and so they're titles that they're offering at kind of a discounted rate before they are no longer available. So there's always something to pursue with Kino, and their library is absolutely massive. It's very hard to keep up with the titles that they are coming out with. We've got a lot of great titles coming from them between now and the end of the year, so definitely stay tuned for more coverage of Kino Lorber on this channel. But yeah, I'm interested to know if you're able to pick up titles from this sale. Do you have other favorite Kino Lorber titles? There's so many great offerings from these guys. And if you like this type of content, film and film collecting, unboxing videos, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, also the like button, and finally the bell icon. That will, of course, notify you when I upload new videos in the future. And until next time, my name is David, and I hope you have an awesome day.